The FBI is investigating phishing attempts targeting the Trump campaign and the Biden-Harris campaign, which is now the Harris-Walz campaign. The incidents began earlier this summer and are believed to have originated from Iran. Meanwhile, the former president is claiming the Harris campaign lied about the size of the crowd at a recent campaign rally. Trump said this image, posted by Michigan campaign staffer for Harris, of a large crowd at an August 7th rally in Detroit was created by AI. That claim is false. Our CBS News Confirmed team analyzed photos and videos from the event in question. It found the large crowd was, in fact, there. Local reporters estimated about 15,000 people in attendance. The Harris campaign confirmed that number. CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns joins us now. Caitlin, former Speaker of the House, as you know, Kevin McCarthy, warned Monday about the campaign against Harris to, quote, stop questioning the size of her crowds and start questioning her position. What do you make of that strategy? Is it a winning one? And do you think that that message is going to resonate with those voters who might, in fact, feel as though they're going to vote for Trump, but this idea of focusing more on the things that voters want to hear about, the things that matter?
Yeah, Jerika, it's great to see you. What's interesting about this is that the Trump campaign last week told reporters, top officials, that this election is about the economy and the border and Kamala Harris's record. They're very much trying to essentially blame her for everything that has happened under the Biden administration. But then Donald Trump goes out to campaign or speak off the cuff, and that is often at odds with the very, message that his own campaign wants him to be focused on. Now, this has been true over the course of the Trump campaign, the Trump administration, as we've been covering him for years. But what's significant about this crowd size lie, essentially, is that it kind of tells us two things. First, that Trump feels essentially aggrieved that Kamala Harris is getting this attention from her base. Their own polling, Trump's own polling, shows that Kamala Harris has been successful in consolidating and rallying the Democratic base. But it's also important to note that these kinds of things are easily provable. This crowd size that Kamala Harris had, easily provable. Our own reporters, producers, photographers were there. But it's also significant because this is kind of Donald Trump laying the groundwork to question the election.
Right.
And so we have to pay attention to these kinds of things.
On the Democratic side of things, the DNC announced today that they plan to target approximately 1.6 million Americans who live or serve outside the U.S. Do you think that this is going to make a significant difference when it comes to securing votes, especially in swing states?
You know, Jerika, this is going to be a very close race. Even though we saw new polling out over the weekend that showed Kamala Harris with a 4-point edge in some of these battleground states, both campaigns, the Harris campaign and the Trump campaign, acknowledge that this is going to be a very close race. It's essentially a base versus base election with very few persuadable voters in the middle. And so when you're looking at those targets, really in these, top battleground states, especially Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, it could come down to just thousands of votes, as we've seen in elections past. So this focus on this particular group that the Harris campaign is waging is part of an overall strategy to leave no vote on the table. And both campaigns recognize that there is just a small sliver of persuadables.
And Caitlin, speaking of strategies, we know that the president is expected to go on X tonight and speak with Elon Musk, and it's being touted as an exclusive interview. X has over 250 million viewers globally every day, reportedly. What do you make of him going to a platform where things will get shared, people will be able to watch, not just here in the United States, but around the world?
Yeah, and Donald Trump himself has about 88 million followers on that platform. It's significant because, remember, he was kicked off of what was then known as Twitter after the January 6th insurrection. He was reinstated once Elon Musk took over, but he has actually been more vocal on Truth Social, which is a platform that he is an owner of. So it is significant that he's choosing this platform here. The campaign likes to go around traditional media and sees an ally in Elon Musk, so kind of friendly territory there. But the reach is something that the campaign has been touting, not only this platform, but also Trump Trump's followers specifically. What I'm watching for is whether he returns to this platform for the remainder of the campaign.
Yeah, and the EU already warning that there are certain bans on information that is not true or harmful content. Caitlin Huey-Burns, thank you.
Thank you.
The Democratic National Convention kicks off in 1 week. CBS News will have special coverage of the events in Chicago starting Monday, August 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern.